right, TCF family, join me in congratulating Emma for being October's Member of the Month. Emma, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your occupation, age, class time, all those things?
Yeah. So I'm 26. I am a recently licensed clinical mental health counselor. So I currently work in a outpatient private group practice. So work there with like a few other therapists, just doing mainly individual sessions with like teens through adults, treating variety of concerns. So
Okay. What made you want to do that mental health counseling?
so it started when I was in college and kind of like my own mental health journey. I had a lot of knee surgeries like from high school through college playing soccer. Um, and after like my sixth knee injury, I went and saw like the sports psychologist like on campus, like a free resource there. And at the time, I had also like decided I wanted to major in psychology. I really liked like the abnormal psych class. And so between my experience of like being in like actual therapy alongside like taking these classes, I kind of had like that light bulb moment where I was like, oh, this is something that I can do. And so from there, kind of started to become passionate about being able to like provide a space for others that was like provided for me through that, and also growing up as an athlete and recognizing like the focus that's put on physical health and how mental health is kind of like not paid attention to and pushed to the side, and so being passionate about like, okay, they're both important, like you don't have one without the other.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like your own experiences and how that's kind of helped you throughout those challenges, whatever made you want to help other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you just started kind of doing this mental health counseling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I just graduated in May. So, I mean, actually, counseling I've been doing for like about a year and a half, because you have to go through like your practicum and internship experience. But now, like, just starting like being like out of school and kind of navigating that, on my own. But you do start out as like an associate license, so like you have to be under a licensed supervisor for X amount of time for X amount of hours. So you're really like not on your own, but it's a little bit more.
Yeah. And then they're kind of like a mentor or something like that, helping you figure out the.
Sure, yeah. So you meet with them, depending on like what your caseload is and stuff, but you typically meet with them like once a week or once every other week, or however that looks, and you can discuss like maybe like personal challenges you have to like the adjusting into the field, or like discussing cases that you have to kind of help work through some of the things that you may be struggling with, or if you're needing like different perspectives on how to view something that's brought to you from a client. So it kind of just helps you like in all areas, whatever you really need to work through to like help you be a better therapist.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess what's your goal with that? Do you have like a specific group of people you're trying to work with? Anybody?
Yeah, so right now, since I'm, more like new to the field, a little bit more open, because I really want to explore like, okay, I could have an idea of maybe I would work best with like this population, but I really don't know, since I haven't, explored it too much. So pretty open. I think I'm wanting to start out like seeing like teens like up through like older adults, for like a variety of things. Like I'm really interested in trauma work, but anxiety, depression, ADHD, general life transitions, maybe relationship challenges, all of that. And then, of course, like, I've always had the passion about potentially being able to work with athletes at some point, but I don't want to kind of like close myself in too early.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to kind of see what all is out there, what actually piques your interest or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. And so tell us some more kind of about yourself. I know we've talked about like you loving to travel or whatever, but you also want to leave your space or whatever, right? What's the coolest place have you ever traveled to?
The coolest place. I'm trying to think. I've been to several places. We traveled a lot when I was like little, so I know there's like a lot of places that I probably don't remember as much as I would want. Since my mom used to work for the airlines, like traveling was really easy as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think we flew for free or something. I don't know. So it made it a lot easier. But I know like the places that I've been that have been really cool since I've been older are we've been to Sweden. So my mom's from Sweden, and that was pretty cool because we kind of got to travel around like the different cities there, and also stay with like a lot of relatives. So just like experiencing a lot of that. England, Ireland. I was just recently in Tulum for a bachelorette, so that was cool.
Yeah.
And then we went to Curacao for when I graduated high school. That was like me and my sister's like graduation gift, and so that was really cool. And got to swim with dolphins, so that was like always like a big thing for me, was getting to do that because I've always loved dolphins growing up. So
Yeah. So was that like one of your highlights of all your travel and stuff? Getting to swim
yeah,
with those?
probably. And then me and my sisters we're planning to go to Italy in next spring, so that may top all the other ones. Kind of now being older and experiencing things in different ways, and a lot of the places that I've experienced have been from soccer.
Mm.
You know, traveling for soccer. So that, of course, you don't experience the place in the same way because
You're like
it's-
so focused so
it's
much.
all about like, okay, you're practicing, you're doing things, you're not really getting to like explore and experience like the cities or the towns, and then also like even if you are like for soccer, we took like a couple like trips where we did get to explore. Like you're on the itinerary of someone else
Yeah.
that created that. It's not really like you're doing what you want to do and seeing what you want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So at least with Italy, you'll be able to go out there with your family, with your sisters and stuff,
Yeah.
and do all that.
Yeah, and as like an adult, which is always cool because you're kind of like free
Yeah.
reign. You have more options.
Yeah. And then when you were in Sweden, did you go into? I was talking about this to somebody. It was like where do they have this really popular out there? The saunas or whatever.
Yeah, so we actually did. I'm just remembering this. We stayed with one of my mom's relatives, and they had a lake that's like nearby to them, and so we went there like at night, and like the water was freezing.
Yeah. What did you do? Like cold plunge into
Yeah,
the
so
sauna?
we would jump in, and then we would go into the sauna, and we kind of go back and forth.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy how like that was like just in the culture out there, and then like it's gotten so like common. Well, it's gotten so widespread around here, stuff like that.
Yeah.
People trying to emulate those and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody where they did like a group sauna house, where they had like a house that held up to 10 to 15 people. I'm like, holy crap, that's a huge freaking sauna.
Yeah, I don't
Whatever.
think this one was that big. But
But it's so cool that you got to go out there and experience that and stuff. And so, like, if money wasn't an issue, where would you go and why? Where would you want to travel to?
money wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Um,
Would it be Italy?
well, yeah, we're going there. That would be nice to not have to pay for like the plane ticket, because it's like that's like usually like the biggest expense. Because then like once you get over there, it's like really easy. Like from what I've heard, to like even like travel like to like other cities too. Like traveling like between different cities in Europe is a lot cheaper. But
Just do like
getting
trains
there,
or whatever.
But also, I think like I've always wanted to go to like Australia or New Zealand. Those areas just seem really cool places to visit.
Yeah. Any reason why you want to go out there, or just because they're cool?
I think just because they're cool. Probably a lot of like, you know, cool like outdoor things to do too, like hiking and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I think they have like probably have like rock climbing and stuff. So just being able to like do kind of that different stuff in like a different country.
Yeah. Yeah. Experience the outdoors and what they got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And so, like, something about, well, we were already talking about this before or whatever, but if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Yeah, so kind of related to the traveling, I think I would want to be able to teleport, because I really like experiencing like and traveling, like going to like new countries and all of that, or just like new cities, like even in the States. But I also like my space and my room, and so and like traveling is just like exhausting, and it'll also take away like having to like sit in the car for hours or like deal with the airport and stuff, and like you would never have to worry about like, oh, I forgot this and I have to go and buy it when I get there, because I could just like go home. But I just like being in my space. And so like I've noticed like, you know, when you go on like longer vacations, and then like by the end of it, I'm always like, okay,
just
I'm
wanna be
ready
back.
to be home. And so I
Mhm.
feel like I would appreciate being other places more if I could like come home like in between like the days and
Yeah.
stuff and just like be in my space.
Yeah, that'd be, and then you don't have to worry about the travel expenses going over to Australia or whatever, right? You
Yeah.
just go over there and you
Yeah.
come on back.
It's also another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cost
So,
effective.
so you need to get on working on how you can get a teleportation or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Any scientists out there, help.
Please help. Send help. No. But something like with the member of the month, right? It's all the coaches coming together and kind of choosing who that member of the month is going to be, who emulates the gym well. And Zach was a huge component in that. And so I guess, how often do you beat Zach in workouts?
Pretty often. Yeah. I would say maybe 90% of the time I'll give him 10%.
Yeah.
There's definitely some things that he excels in more than I do, and I think it's just he's been doing CrossFit longer, so he has an advantage.
Yeah. For now.
For now.
Yeah. Just wait.
But other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
he needs to step it up.
Yeah. So what makes you so competitive?
I mean, definitely, like, I grew up playing sports since I was, like, very little, and so I think it comes from that, and then also just having, like, two sisters, there's always that, probably, like, internalized competition where it's, like, you kind of feel like you're in constant competition even when you're really not, trying to, like, one-up your sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So probably that, like, just siblings and being in that sports environment where you kind of thrive off being competitive. It's not really fun if the competition isn't there.
Right. And so are your sisters also like competitive as well, or are they like completely against it and you're just the one competitive person?
I would say in probably like certain things like we're competitive. I mean, we don't really like talk about it. It's not really out there where we're like, oh, I beat you in this and you beat me in this, but it definitely shows up. Like, I know one of my sisters, like, if we're playing like games or anything, she's very competitive and like hates losing, and you can tell with that.
As you're sitting there like putting down this or whatever, you just
Yeah.
see the look on her face.
Yeah. So I think it's there. Like, I think we're all like competitive, but it's not ever like we were putting that on each other. I think we just kind of all like
Just naturally.
learned, because we all played sports growing up too, so I think just like constantly being in that environment, it's like a thing, and then you have like the pressure of feeling like you have to be as good as like your siblings or whatever, so there's kind of like all those factors.
Yeah. And then are both your sisters older than you?
So I have a twin, we're fraternal. She's 30 minutes older than me because I caused some problems to delay my arrival. And then I have an older sister, but she's only like, she's 21 months older, so not even like 2 years. So now that we're all like adults, like in our 20s, we're all really close.
Yeah, basically y'all are all like really so
I would
close.
say we're just like the same age.
Yeah. It's
what it
really
feels
triplets.
like.
It's not actually twins, it's triplets,
Yeah.
right? And so you said they all played sports as well?
Yeah. So, yeah, when we were growing up, we all played like I wouldn't say like every single sport, but we played a lot of sports. And then as we got older, me and my older sister, we stuck with soccer, because at a certain point you kind of have to pick one. There's not really like time, because it becomes like a year-round thing. It's like if you're not doing club, like it's school soccer time. So and then my other sister, she played soccer when she was younger, but then she leaned more towards like swimming and stuff, so she stuck with swimming as like her main sport.
And then you played soccer all the way through college, right?
Yeah.
And then so what happened like after college?
Yeah, so I played soccer through college, and then once I graduated, well, I was definitely done with soccer because I had so many knee injuries, and the one time I tried to like come out of retirement, I dislocated my shoulder, so I was like, this is a sign that I'm done with that.
How'd you do your shoulder playing? Did you just fall down
someone-
wrong, or?
Long story short, we were just playing pickup, and someone like body slammed me, which I was like, that was very unnecessary, because I would have given you the ball, like this.
Yeah, just club or whatever,
Just
right?
take it.
Yeah.
But he body slammed me to the ground, and however I fell, it just the pressure, it came out. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm done with soccer. Not doing that. But while we were, I think I got a little bit more into lifting like through college because we would, you know, go in the weight room like once, twice, 3 times a week or something, depending on like the season that we were in. And so after, it was nice to like be able to like kind of explore lifting more, and also like just work out at like my own pace. Like you're not working out to be in soccer shape,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
soccer fitness is so different than like just general like everyday fitness. And so it's kind of like I could do my own thing. So it was nice to do that. So really got into that. Started doing like some rock climbing and stuff. And then now I'm here.
Yeah. And then you've been TCF for 4 months now, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
about.
There we go. And then give it another 2 months, you'll be beating Zach and stuff, right?
And everything.
And everything,
So
yeah.
watch out.
And so now you're kind of still doing CrossFit, but you're also mixing in some marathon training, right?
Yes, that's the plan.
How's that been
I've
going?
been having like some weird, like I hurt my back, and then just like every now and then, because of like some of the, obviously I've had so many knee surgeries, sometimes like my knees are a little weird. So the plan is, yes, training for the marathon, but I've had a few hiccups with just like small like aches and pains. So that's a plan. In November, the Outer Banks Marathon.
Mhm.
If I'm finding that to be too much, I'll just do the half marathon.
Yeah.
But that's the goal. I ran like my first marathon in April, the Nashville Marathon, and leading up to it, I was like weak the week leading up to it, so I was like sick all that week. I had something weird going on with my hips. Like mentally going into it, I was like not feeling great. Like I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to like finish it.
Oh God.
Especially because like Nashville's like super hilly, so it's like a really hilly course, a lot of elevation gain. So I did go into it. The goal was just like finish without walking, because I'm like, you can run really, really, really slowly, and it's still a run, technically. So I was able to do that, but like after that, I was like, I want not necessarily to like be faster and get a better time, but I just want to go into it like with a better, like feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I'm not even gonna make it. I don't feel good. Like I'm still kind of sick. I have this thing going on with my hip. So fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Yeah, something.
That at least going into this one, it'll just be like a better experience to like then be done with my marathon experience, at least for a while.
Yeah.
But Outer Banks is flatter course. We also like go out there every summer, so like we have a family friend's beach house out there, so it's kind of like easy to like make those trips out there and have like
Yeah.
a place to stay.
Yeah, well, that'll be fun, and hopefully after that, it's a great experience, and maybe you can keep doing that in the future.
Yeah.
Just maybe not have to worry about actually finishing or whatever, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be good. And so, like, before joining the TCF family, what was your absolute biggest challenge?
I think my biggest challenge was just the motivation piece of like going to like work out and being consistent with my workouts. I think it got to a point where I just like, I enjoy like being coached or like having like a coach figure in some way. And then also like working out around people. And so me kind of like going by myself, just like, I just wasn't feeling motivated with like what I was doing. And I think it was too like, when you go to the gym to like lift, it's like a lot of the same things. Like you're doing the same movements like over and over and over again. So like your workouts like kind of look the same.
Yeah, it's like
So it
you
gets
know what you
boring.
know, and then that's all you know.
Yeah, and so it's like I'm just doing the same things like again, and so the biggest piece was kind of like my motivation was lacking.
Okay. And then so like what how that challenge make you feel? Like so that kind of like just the boring workouts, or kind of getting in that rut of the workouts and stuff?
I think I just didn't feel great because I like do enjoy working out, so it's kind of like, why am I not going to like work out and like do these things? Like I enjoy it, makes me feel good to have that consistency and the structure.
Yeah.
So just kind of felt like, I don't know, a little off balance or something with like what I like wanted my day-to-day to look like, or like my weeks to look like.
Yeah, and then what changed after joining the TCF family?
Yeah, I think if I find it easier to one, like, have the motivation, like I have more motivation more consistently, and then like when the motivation isn't there, I have more like discipline to be able to do it, like less like excuses that I can make in my head too, to be like, oh, I just like don't want to go. One, the gym is a lot closer to me, so that's like a huge factor. I'm like, it's literally like not even 10 minutes from my house, so you can't use like the driving as an excuse. And then also it's like, okay, you get there and the workout's made for you, like you don't have to think about it, like you just have to go there and show up. And so that's helpful, because like sometimes, like most of the time I would go into the gym like without a plan, and then it just ends up not being a good workout anyways, because like I just didn't think ahead or plan ahead, and also that takes more energy to like have to figure it out. And then also just like knowing, like even if it's like a day that I really am feeling like I don't want to work out, like I know that I'll feel good like after I come here, because there's a bunch of people that like help push me like through the workout to like get it done. And so like I know that that's here, versus like if I was just going to like work out by myself, I could probably more easily like cut myself short.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to finish this last round, but then you got everybody else doing it with you, and then you're like, okay, I guess I need to, or whatever, right? Or I know I need to go to the gym today so that I can start beating Zach in workouts.
Yeah. Yes.
Or no, make sure it's 100% of the time that you're beating Zach in workouts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can't have any wins.
And so, like, any other specific positive impacts that you've seen since joining TCF?
I think overall I'm just feeling like a lot better, like kind of not necessarily, I would not say that I'm like feeling that like good like soccer fitness again, but just feeling better in terms of like I think when it was just like more lifting weights all the time, like it feels good to like lift weights and be strong, but I also just felt like heavy and slow. And so like being able to incorporate some more like of the high intensity workouts like into the routine, where it's like a good balance of like, okay, like we're focusing on the lifts, and then we're also incorporating like some high intensity or more like endurance like workouts, has like just been a better balance for me, and has helped me feel better like overall like day to day. Have more energy. Yeah,
there we go. And then what would you say to somebody on the fence about joining?
I would say like I can recognize that it can be a nerve-wracking experience to like start somewhere new. So like even someone like me who's like done like fitness stuff like their whole life, like it's still like nerve-wracking to come in here, and there's like a lot of the movements that I still like can't do or don't know how to do. And so I didn't know like how that would be in terms of like, okay, if I can't do this and this and this, can I like do CrossFit? But at least what I've learned is like it doesn't really matter like what level you're at. There's like a way for this space to be beneficial for you, and you can like individualize and personalize your goals to like what works for you. So it's not ever the expectation that like you have to be able to do this at some point or this. It's like all like unique to you, and like kind of the people here like meet you where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't do a squat because you had so many knee surgeries or whatever, right? We can work your way to hopefully over time achieving that, or increasing the difficulty somehow, some way, whether it's weights or just depth or whatever that is, right?
And that like I think with anything, so like not even necessarily just CrossFit, but when you're thinking about like CrossFit or like any like sport or any real like physical type of activity, so even like marathoners, usually like all you see out there are like the top 1%, and so that can be intimidating. And while that is CrossFit, that is like soccer, that is marathoners or whatever, that's not everyone. So that's just a small part of it. And so like it's like recognizing that like everyone's at a different level. It's not just the top 1% that you're seeing like in the media all the time. The stuff you see, like you said, is the like 0.001%. There's the other 99.999% of people out there that you have no idea, that just everyday people that you see on the street or at the grocery store or whatever sort of thing. And
they're in here and trying to achieve whatever goals
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, there's really like a place for everyone,
Yeah.
and like no one's gonna make you feel like differently about that.
Right. Right. We're just here to help you achieve whatever that goal is.
Mhm.
Right. Awesome, Emma. Congratulations, or thank you for your time and everything, and congratulations again for being October's Member of the Month.
Thank you.